Michael Aaron from RaceFuelZ just has to be so happy to see such a full and stacked grid. I mean, this is his race, the RaceFuelZ Superbike race. Big Hoonda's up in the tower. I believe they're going to go to the lights for this one. So John, you're going to have to wing this a little bit.
Yeah, I have no vision on the lights at all. I know that I see the grid marshals coming off right now. They'll go to a light. You'll hear the revs come up. Off they go right now. Coming out of the third spot, it looks like it is going to be the KTM taking it up the hill. What a great job by Filmore. Just a great start.
Dominating.
Yep, he knows how to conserve his motorcycle and keep it ready, but Josh Hayes is on a mission right now. Chris Fillmore looking very, very good. Then we've got just a whole bunch of people going really hard, nose to tail here. Nobody's giving up anything yet.
I want to see how Cameron Beaubier recovers, because he did not have the best of starts, and then to have that bobble in turn 9, he went way too deep in there, and to write it up on the driver's seat that just didn't work out that well for him. He's still in 5th spot, but is he going to be able to work past it? And now he's past Martin Cardenas. One, Cameron Beaubier, I'm going to say it, he's going to have caught up by the end of this lap.
That's pretty generous of you, Vic. I don't know if he'll do it quite that quickly, but he's certainly riding a great race out there right now. We've got a lot of guys going fast. It's going to be entertaining to see just how well these guys hold up. Endurance is a big, big factor here, and there's not too many people out there in as good a shape as Josh Hayes is right now.
Well, Cameron Beaubier is out there turning a second a lap faster than Chris Fillmore, and about half a second a lap faster than Josh Hayes. Cameron Beaubier will
tough break to Chris Fillmore. How disappointing is that? I hope he didn't scratch my bike up too much.
Chris Fillmore seems to be getting it refired. I'm not sure if he'll be able to re-enter the race. Each second that goes by is another position he loses. And now it's Beaubier on the back of Josh Hayes. Beaubier is all over the back of Josh Hayes as they come to turn 4.
Cameron Beaubier hard on the gas right now as they come down the hill through turn 5, through that turn, up over the crest, and there they go. Josh Hayes got a good entry and a good line, a little bit of the inside there. We'll see what happens as they come out onto the front straight.
And Chris Fillmore has got that bike refired. He's re-entered the race, but he's lost a whole lot of ground. He's not going to be a factor for a win as Josh Hayes leads Cameron Beaubier into turn number 7.
Both these guys pitching him sideways. Josh Hayes under a lot of pressure from Cameron Beaubier. Over the crest they go right now, bending left into the carousel one more time. We'll catch them as they come out onto the drag strip. They are definitely going hard at it, but it is still Josh Hayes holding on. Cameron Beaubier just doesn't seem to have a whole lot. I mean, these bikes seem to be very equally matched right now.
And this has to be exactly what this monster Yamaha team wanted. Both their bikes out in front. They probably don't care which one of them wins as long as they get first and second. And right now, that's exactly what they
take a whole lot when you're this close to the edge. Closing it up tight right now. Beaubier through the chicane. I gotta say, you know, the first person you want to meet, they always say, is your teammate. Josh Hayes definitely wants to win. This guy's pushing real hard. I gotta say, they're going to be getting a signal from the pit at some point telling them, finish the race. Don't take each other out. But Josh Hayes just looking great out there. He's just such an athlete.
Oh, and Josh Hayes has a moment. He has a bobble coming out of the one. It puts him into the dirt. Cameron Beaubier goes by him smoothly and cleanly. Josh reels it back in, but he has to go through the dirt to recover, and he's shaking his head. He knows he made a mistake, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to catch back up to Beaubier again.
It's a long, long race. I don't know Cameron very well in terms of what his conditioning is. I do know that Josh Hayes is probably one of the best conditioned guys here. We've got a lot of laps left to go. Right now, I think this is only lap 7. So a long way to go just yet. The number 4 bike, don't write him off yet. Josh has got plenty of time, but the big thing is right now, Cameron, if he settles into a rhythm out there with nobody in front of him, and if he knows he's got a little bit of a gap, that does take some of the pressure off.
Well, in my opinion, this is kind of Cameron Beaubier's race to lose. He's got a little bit of a gap up there, and he's very smooth, he's very fast. He doesn't make a mistake, it'll be very difficult for Josh to make up that distance.
But Josh Hayes is not to be written off. The guy has been around too many racetracks, and he's just too tough a competitor to give anything up. So I know they want both of these monster Yamahas out there in front. They want them both on camera, and they want them both to be showing how dominant this particular motorcycle can be at times. Team Monster doing a great job out here, and obviously these are some of the best prepared bikes in the series.
Local guy from Roseville having just an absolutely ideal ride up there. I'm sure he was worried about how he's going to try to get away Josh Hayes, and Josh just gave him a gift, just wrapped it up and delivered it to him.
You know what, Chris Filmore is definitely kind of chewing his way back up to the crowd right now as he's going through turn 10. I'm not sure where he is in terms of position right now. He's back a ways, but he's still slowly but surely climbing back up to the crowd. Don't count out the HMC KTM just yet.
You know, I'm seeing Josh Hayes is actually slowing down a little. I said that was that last lap with that bobble. It cost him 1 whole second. And you can't give up 2 seconds in a race like this. Cameron Beaubier is just dead consistent mid 136s.
You know, not surprising. These guys, they ride at that level. Right now, Beaubier coming back to his 3S's and hard on the gas, looking very clean, looking very green. I gotta say, these guys just going very, very smooth. So enamored coming back. Just looking flawless out there for the speed that they go.
Josh Hayes seems to have recovered quite nicely from the wobble earlier. He is doing everything he can to catch back up to his teammate Cameron Beaubier. As Josh Hayes comes through turn 11 past that start-finish line, in that last lap, Cameron Beaubier was pulling a 136.5. Josh Hayes a 137 flat, so he's not going to make up the distance that way.
Well, you know what, Josh is, like I said, he settles into that rhythm right now. Putting him on the box 1 and 2 would not be a bad thing, but I know Josh, like I said, the first person on the teammates Cameron Beaubier, that's not easy to achieve.
Martin Cardenas is still there in 3rd place, and you cannot write him out. He's got the pace when he puts it down to make it happen, and again, he's a guy who's been sitting back over the last 2 or 3 laps.
Well, he's got to stay closer than he is right now, though. He's too far back to be within striking distance of unless a major event. That's not really very likely at this point, so it's possible. We've only got 9 laps in the book, we're not even halfway yet. But Martin Cardenas is smart enough to know when to push and when not to push, so it's a good test. Roger Hayden out there in a spot right now, trying to pick up the pace a little bit, trying to get his bike going a little bit better. Not too bad. He's picking off some pretty consistent 38s, so he's got, I think, 4 or 5 of those back to back, so he's definitely settled in. We'll hopefully see that bike go a little bit faster as time wears on. Gets a little bit wide at 11. Somebody pushes underneath him, but he closes the door. Roger Hayden still riding very, very well.
Mathew Orange up there in the top 10. He's got to be proud of that. Coming in as a privateer, running with the big boys and being in the top 10 is no small feat.
Chris Ulrich right there. He and Roger Hayden duking it out pretty good right now. Ulrich got a little bit out of shape on the brakes, kicking that back end out just a little bit last time around.
We got Tyler O'Hara in the mix, so Tyler O'Hara's got between Chris Ulrich and Roger Hayden. Tyler O'Hara on the number 9 machine. Chris Ulrich on the 18 as they bend it into turn number 1. Clark at the number 6 machine battling out Cory West. Cory West had a real good race yesterday in the Moorville Pacific. Managed to pull a podium out of that one. Right now he's trying his best to get in front of Chris Clark. David Anthony in front of them, then Martin Cardenas in 3rd. And up front, Cameron Beaubier followed by Josh Hayes.
I'm going to say David Anthony has impressed me a lot this weekend. Running the front, running hard, a couple of little balls down here in turn 9. But he's really put on a good show. He's done a really nice job.
Cameron Beaubier just continuing to flick off these 136.6s, 136.5s. Josh Hayes is low 137s. That's not how he's going to catch up to him. He may have just decided he's going to bring it home for a 3rd or 2nd place finish. Martin Cardenas doesn't seem to have the pace to catch up to Josh Hayes either. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seem to be slotted into their respective orders. Battle between Chris Clark, Cory West, and Roger Hayden. They're also pulling along Tyler O'Hara and Chris Ulrich. So everything back behind about 5th place is still hotly contested. Martin Cardenas in a lonely ride. David Anthony just behind him.
very, very fast. Everybody's smooth. Lap riders coming into play here right now as Josh Hayes gets around some of these turn 10, leader at 11 right now.
Beaubier in turn number 1. He's all by himself. Josh Hayes definitely recovered from the incident earlier, but he's got so much ground in his back. And here comes Martin Cardenas. And back behind him, David Anthony. Well, the real battle is going to be coming up real soon. I believe they're coming into turn number 9 now. This is the race that we've been watching. It's Chris Clark, Cory West, Roger Hayden, Tyler O'Hara, and Chris Ulrich all battling it out there. And a move on the inside 11, coming up a position. I believe that's going to be Roger Hayden working his way through.
Roger Hayden, Cory West, and Chris Clark all still having a pretty good dice out there. Tyler O'Hara is still in the mix. Chris Ulrich holding on right behind. 12 laps in the books right now. And these guys are really putting it down. Don't know for sure, but the sun has come out. The track temperature coming up just a little bit. The wind is still a little bit of a factor, but not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday we had flags standing right out straight in the grass. aggressive, he's fast. I'll say this for him. He's not afraid to ride the motorcycle to the limits. Fillmore coming by us and start finish right now, and he's still working his way back up to the back. Josh Hayes out there in turn 11 right now, just trying to be smooth and take it home. Still on the gas. You're right, Vic. The front end of that bike keeps coming up and coming up and coming up every time he turns the throttle.
Beaubier, he's having the ride that he wanted here. He could not have asked for a better weekend. Things are just working so well for him. Josh Hayes, second place. That's still got to make Yamaha fast. very, very happy. Martin Cardenas still with a lonely ride in third place. I'm expecting him to wick it up a little in the next lap or two, though.
Yeah, he's going to have to start reeling them in. 5 laps to go right now. He's going to have to start reeling these guys in if he expects to make a challenge on Josh. Josh is having fun out there now. I'm watching him kind of back in his chain and kicking things out. He's enjoying himself, I can tell. I just don't know if Martin is close enough to really get within striking distance in the next 4 laps. That's what he has to do. This has settled into a pretty good rhythm for everybody, and the only one who really seems to be steadily picking people off is Filmore on the KTM.
Fillmore coming through turn 9. He's got 2 riders in front of him. If he can get those 2 behind him, he'll have 8th place. And with the laps I've seen him turn lately, I don't think that is too big of a task to ask for him.
You know, he's been running super consistently, super aggressively. Hadn't had the ball on 11. I think he'd still be in the hunt. Beaubier cross start finish right now. He has just opened up that lead. Josh Hayden had a moment somewhere along the way. Dropped back a big chunk in the last lap or two. Not sure what that's about, but they are spreading out. Maybe just lap traffic kind of interfering with things. These guys so far out now, right? So far in the lead as far as the rest of the crowd. Sure, you're getting signals from the pit saying just bring it home. Just keep it on 2 wheels and get us a box finish, which is what they're looking at right now.
Fillmore working his way up through the next 2 riders. Again, this is going to represent 9th and 8th place. He takes 1 going into turn number 11. I would not be surprised if he gets his other rider coming into turn number 1.
I don't know. I got to say, Fillmore's done nothing but impress me all weekend long on this KTM. He's done such a great job. He's riding the wheels off that thing right now. He's absolutely mortified that he had that bobble in 11, but he's slowly, he's the one that's been just climbing back up the pack the entire race, and I got to say, the guy is just gotta be mentally tough to achieve that when you get to this level. You're in the lead or in second place and tucked in front at 11 and still come back and click off. I guarantee you he's past 7 or 8, and there he goes. He makes the move up into 8th place as they're going to the brakes. He is pushing that bike. I'll tell you what, he's riding that thing just right out there in the ragged edge right now. I think he needs to, whoa, gets the rear wheel off the ground going over the crest of 5. That is Filmore riding that KTM like a madman out there right now. He is on a mission. He's already achieved the top 10 finish after falling down. I don't know what more he can prove to us.
Yeah, John, I'm going to remind you, about 10 laps ago, I predicted he'd be in 7th place, and he's now in 8th. So he just may make that a reality.
You know, I thought that was optimistic at the time, but man, he is just riding that KTM right out at the ragged edge of things. And it's a little out of shape and a little out of control, but obviously in control and using every centimeter of this racetrack to make it happen. And I gotta say, it's all about the numbers. The number 11, you know, you just gotta be an incredible rider to be out there riding that bike.
John, I see 2 more riders in front of Chris Fillmore. If he can pick both those off, he might even exceed my expectations. Chris Fillmore has been the story today, dropping it down, having a small localized gravity storm in 11, recovering from that, and putting it up not in the top 10, but he's almost going to be top 5.
You know, it's close, but I say, you know, with 3 laps left to go, I think he's running out of time. He's done just this incredible job. I want to find this guy and talk with him and meet him. I've never met him, but I'm absolutely flabbergasted that he's doing as well as he is. He's keeping his head on straight. He's put his head down, and he's just trying to grind it out. You know, with Beaubier and Hayes taking this away, Martin Cardenas holding on in 3rd spot. They're all pretty equally spaced and way out of reach of each other at this point. Unless somebody makes a mistake, that's going to be our top 3. But keep an eye on this KTM. He is still still pounding them out. He is still trying to kick and scratching and clawing and trying to get another position. Beaubier up through turn 1 right now.
That means Josh Hayes is following very shortly thereafter. There's a couple lap riders between the two of them. Martin Cardenas coming by start-finish line now.
I don't know, he might even be up into lap traffic, man, at this point. I don't know if he's flicking off a pass on a position or if he's passing a lapper at this point. But he is certainly not giving anything up. He can ride this race right to the very last second.
And that was Chris Fillmore moving up into 7th place. So there's my prediction holding true as he just knocked Chris Clark back to 8th. Chris Fillmore has his sights now on Cory West, who is not that far in front of him.
I gotta say, I've already stated I want to tuck that KTM in my Toyota MR2 and take it.
I don't think one lap's going to be enough time to do that, but a 7th place is quite an inspired ride after the little bobble in turn 11.
I have to absolutely agree with you. Nothing but respect for Mr. Fillmore and that whole KTM HMC team.
A little change in the scoring there. I'm not sure if someone had a runoff, but we now have Chris Fillmore in 6th place behind Roger Hayden.
And that might have been a runoff. It might have been a lap rider ahead of him. There wasn't really a position. It's hard to tell when you get this late in the race. But we're down to it right now. 19 laps in the books. The checkered flag being walked out there by the big kahuna, Phil Brown. Pete Barnum holding on. Pete's been our starter and our grid marshal for years and years. Checkered flag flying right now as he comes by. Cameron Beaubier, just a happy camper to win a race on his home racetrack. Josh Hayes coming by for a 2nd place. He was definitely in the hunt. And then we're going to see 3rd place coming by, Martin Cardenas. David Anthony is going to be here. There's Cardenas coming by right now. David Anthony will be behind him in just a couple of more bikes. A lot of lap traffic missed up. There's Cardenas. Martin doing a great job out there. Cardenas, a very good ride. We were hoping he'd come on real hard, which is his tendency at the end of the race, but he just didn't have anybody to hunt down or chase off. So a really great ride by Martin. Then behind him, David Anthony, a nice job on the 25 machine. Roger Hayden, then Chris Fillmore up to 6th place according to scoring right now. Cory West, then Chris Ulrich, Tyler O'Hare, and I have Chris Ulrich again out there on scoring, so I'm not sure what Chris's actual status is. Mathew Orange out there finishing 10th or 11th. Sebastiao Ferreira, Daytona Anderson, Marcel Arney, Jeff Tigard finishing 15th according to this, and then Steve Betts in 16th. Ricky Orlando, who we spoke to earlier today, a veteran racer out here having a good time, 17th. Joy Higa gets 18th, and Lenny Hale gets 19th. That is the race as it stands right now. So I'd like to invite you all down to the winner's circle. We're going to have a few interviews. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very interested to hear what Cameron Beaubier has to say about this. The Yamahas were absolutely flawless out there. It looks like one of the monster bikes. Now this is a lot faster than that. Get a little bit of that, have a little too much fun showing off the crowd.
Martin Cardenas, it's great to see you back here. I've seen you at Sears Point a whole lot of times in the past. Sometimes it hasn't worked out as well for you, but today it looked like you had a flawless ride. Once Chris Fillmore had a little bit of an incident in turn number 11, you inherited the spot. Did you see the riders were in front of you? What were your pit boards telling you?
I kind of saw the when he crashed, and I was seeing the front guys. I was trying as hard as I could to maybe catch up, but today wasn't possible. Struggled a little bit this weekend to get going fast, and in the race we made a step forward, and but it wasn't enough. But 3rd place is good result, so we'll take it, and we'll try next time to improve a little bit. And just thanks to the Yoshimura Suzuki team for all the great work they've done.
Well, that's great to see you up here. Martin Cardenas, 3rd place. Josh Hayes, I'm happy to see you on up here. We've always been a fan of yours since I first saw you practicing at AFM Race in Buttonwillow in about 2004. I believe that's when you met Melissa Paris. But it was so fantastic to watch you get up front there. That was a great move you did to get first place. But what happened in turn number 1?
Whew, I don't know. A lot of puckering. I've been a little behind all weekend, and we said, hey, let's go for it in the race, right? Like, what else do you do? So I was riding as hard as I could and giving it all I had, and then had that one little mistake. I was going to fight Cam as long as I could, and once he got by, he had just that little bit of gap, and I tried as hard as I could to close it up, and when it didn't happen, man, I was already wrecked just from trying to chase the little punk. So I've been at this a long time, and I usually feel pretty good, and a lot of people be like, man, this is your track, and I'm like, yeah, it's still hard though. I was trying as hard as I could, and really honestly, the only problem I had today was he had a name, Cameron Beaubier, and kid's fast, but I know what he's riding, so I know how he's fast. I'm gonna go home and work on it.
Thanks for putting you up on second on the box here.
Of course, you guys have seen this beautiful sounding Monster Energy Graves Yamaha R1 go around the racetrack. It's an incredible motorcycle. I feel so lucky. I've been riding this thing. This is my 6th year riding this thing, and I've won a lot of races here. This time I'm gonna have to take home a second, but I'll take it. Dunlop's done a great job for us. And John Ulrich and the people who put together this series so that we could come race in front of you guys. Thank you guys for putting it on. It's great to see all of you here at the podium standing out there in the stands. We're really excited to be here racing in front of you, and thank you guys for coming out and supporting us, and hopefully we can come back next year and race in front of you guys again.
Oh yeah! A big round for Josh Hayes. Up next, Little Punk. So, we saw you working with not the best of starts. You started to work your way through traffic, and then it looked like you were going to have a lot of difficulty getting Josh Hayes. As he gave you that gift, were you surprised at what happened in your head right then?
Yeah, definitely. I got off to a rough start and slowly worked my way through the field. Josh was setting a really good pace at the front, just as fast as we went in qualifying. So I was a little nervous and made a little mistake. I got in front and put my head down and started stretching a little gap, and was able to come home with the win. And I feel like a dummy that last lap. I'm really sorry to my team for that, but I just got to give a big thanks to Monster Energy Graves Yamaha for giving me the best bike out there. And I had so much fun racing in front of my whole family and friends this weekend. And big thanks to all the fans that came out to support us. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank you for the little bit of activity in turn number 9, because it showed you are human. You've been doing so well after a very tough leg injury, an incredible recovery, that a great rise through the Superbike or the 600 races into the Superbike races. I wasn't convinced you're human, and you proved today that you can make a small mistake, and I feel a little better for it. So everybody, big round of applause for Cameron Beaubier.
Congratulations on your 3rd place finish in the RaceFuelZ Pro Superbike class. RaceFuelZ.
Josh, congratulations on 2nd place. Pro Superbike Shootout. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for all you guys coming to the AFM and having a pro race with us. We'd love to see a fan group like this. And just so you guys know, all these guys started club racing, and all you guys can too. So thanks a ton to you guys to come out, all the pros. Thanks to the fans, and thanks to John Ulrich to make this happen, as well as all the AFM workers. They made all this happen for you guys. So thank you.
Cameron, on behalf of the GEICO Motorcycle Superbike Shootout presented by Yamaha here at the Arai Pacific Nationals, I'd like to congratulate you on a glorious win and an epic cool-off lap. If everybody showed up to this race to watch it, thank you for coming.
Everyone should be here. Yo, Josh, I want some champagne.
Way to go, Cam.
Yeah. Is that your first win? Jeff goes. Cam.